Hello, it's Tuesday. It is 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that means it is time for another episode of First Chapter Fun. So welcome everyone. I see Hank has joined. That means I'm live on Instagram. Crossing fingers, so far so good. Hopefully on Facebook I'll be able to see all of the comments. That would be great. Hi Diane. Diane has joined as well, and we have HJ Hubner. Good morning or good afternoon. So lovely to see you. Hi Eddie. Eddie's joined us as well, and Cat Lord too. I see lots of people. Eddie's waving. I'm so thrilled to see you today. I'm not seeing any comments on Facebook yet. Now that either means that no one's left out one, which is obviously entirely possible, or Facebook is doing what it normally does and doesn't let us see the comments, which is really odd. So I'm just gonna go. Oh, I see. Oh yes, I see. Look, see, that is so weird. So I see all of the comments now on Facebook. If I go and pretend I'm watching the video, I'm watching myself. Ugh, weird. But I see lots of comments coming up and lots of people watching. So Facebook is just doing its usual weird thing. So now we've got the tech stuff out of the way. Hello everyone, welcome to First Chapter Fun. My name is Hannah Mary McKinnon, and with my partner in fictional crime, Hank Philippi Ryan, we read the first chapter of a different book, not ours typically, occasionally, but normally no, every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Instagram at First Chapter Fun, on my phone right here, and on Facebook, in the Facebook group, on the webcam right here. So yeah, lots of tech stuff going on. I have a new gooseneck, it's called apparently, phone holder. So I have my phone and the webcam really close together, so I'm hoping you can't see me doing this too much, because I try and look at both and I can't, because I need one eye going here and one eye going there. Anyway, like I said, enough of the tech stuff. Welcome to First Chapter Fun. If this is the first time you've joined, I like to say, where have you been? Because we've been doing this since March last year, when COVID initially hit. I decided with a few author friends to start reading the first chapter of a different book to help, the pandemic and combat the pandemic blues, the COVID blues, the uncertainty that is still ongoing, and here we are. This is now today episode 126, and if you have not seen an episode of First Chapter Fun, or indeed if you have missed all or any of the 125 we've done before, you will find them all on our IGTV and in our Facebook videos. If you join the group, you have to request to join the at First Chapter Fun group on Facebook, and you will find them all there in the media tab under videos, so you can watch them all to your heart's content. What is the aim of First Chapter Fun? Well, bringing you some light relief and helping you discover new to you books and new to you authors, and making sure your to be read list is completely out of control. We have no shame in bringing you a ton of good books, a ton of great books, and always making sure that you never have far to look for your next read. So that's what Hank and I do every Tuesday and every Thursday, and it's a ton of fun. And we couldn't do it without the authors such as Eddy Boudel Tan, from whose book I'm reading today, and the publishers as well, who are always, we always get their agreement to do this, and of course everyone who's watching, because if it was just Hank and me, maybe we wouldn't be doing 100 odd episodes. We'd just read to ourselves on the phone, wouldn't we, Hank? That would be lovely. So very quickly back to the tech stuff. Sometimes platforms boot us out. Happened last week. Instagram wouldn't even let Hank on Thursday. It was not playing, so we uploaded the video afterwards. So if I get booted from a platform, excuse me, we'll see where we're at in the recording. Do I start again? Do I come back and start again? Or do we upload the video from the platform where it worked? So, oh dear, I have a frog in my throat, or a cat, as they say in French. But fingers crossed, everything will work out. So I see lots of people have joined. We have Jessica Hamilton. I read her book, What She Never Knew, last week. It's brilliant, and it will feature on First Chapter Fun in a couple of months, in a few months. So there's an inside scoop for you. I have Cynthia as well, and we have Robin Morris. So lovely to see you all. Tons of comments on Facebook as well already. I see lots and lots and lots, which is absolutely amazing. I see Cheryl, I see Lise, I see Tracy. This is just fantastic seeing you all and reading all of your comments. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sticking with First Chapter Fun and for bringing more of your friends and your family and telling people about this. It's just wonderful to see this community grow. And we have lots and lots and lots more books coming up for you in our quest to make sure you always have something to read. So let me tell you a little bit about, actually no, before I get to Eddy's book, let me do one thing. Last week I read from, was it last week? Good Lord, I can't remember. It was either last week or the week before. I think it was last week. It was last week. I'm going mad. I read from Shed No Tears by Kaz Freer. Brilliant police procedural. And I actually got another copy yesterday, hardcover copy, as a thank you, because I read it and blurbed for it. There's my name on the back right there somewhere, right there, with a little blurb. So now I have two. So I figured I'm going to do a giveaway as well today, because there is another one coming up, but hold on, I'll get to that. So leave a comment and I will, either on Instagram or Facebook, and I will pick someone who will win this brilliant arc, which is fantastic. So that's first thing. But now, to today's book, and I am so excited to bring this to you. We have After Elias by Eddy Boudel Tan, and that cover, I hope you can see that on Facebook properly, because sometimes the lighting is a bit off. Do you see the plane? It's actually a beach. It's a bird's eye view of a beach with the shadow of a plane, and it's really there's the doorbell. Never a dull moment. And it's just so subtle and enticing, and it looks mysterious, and it looks absolutely brilliant. And let me tell you, when I started reading this, when I started reading the first, just actually the prologue, which I will share with you, the prologue and part of the first chapter, I downloaded it on my Kindle because I just need to know what happens. The writing is absolutely spectacular. It is gorgeous. And I cannot wait to read this to you. So this is today's book, After Elias. And we do have a copy to give away. Eddy is watching, and he is going to choose somebody from the comments, brackets. It's always so nerve-wracking when the author's listening to us read. It's cool, but it's also nerve-wracking. But anyway, so you can get your hands on a copy. We're in for a chance to win a copy of After Elias. All you need to do is leave a comment during the live reading, and Eddy will pick someone to whom a copy of this book will go. I'm very excited. So let me tell you about Eddy, who is a fellow Canadian. And yeah, I know I don't sound Canadian. I can't do a Canadian accent. I've lived here for 10 years. And whenever I try and do a North American accent, I sound like Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. So I'm not going to embarrass myself and try. But Eddy lives on the other side of the country in Vancouver. So let me tell you about Eddy. Eddy Boudel Tan is the author of two novels, After Elias, which is available now. Don't go and get it right now, but once I'm done. And The Rebellious Tide, which will be published in July, so not long to wait. His work depicts a world much like our own. The heroes are flawed, truth is distorted, and there's as much hope as there is heartbreak. Besides his professional experience in communication strategy and brand design, he serves home-cooked meals to the homeless as co-founder of a community initiative called the Sidewalk Supper Project. And he lives with his husband in Vancouver. And if you haven't seen on either on Facebook or on Instagram, On Sunday we posted a little fun 5 fact videos where Eddy tells you 5 fun facts about his book, and he has the most gorgeous smile. I mean, he just lights up the room. It's absolutely fabulous. So you must go and find that video, because it's just so much fun. So let me show you the book cover again. After Elias by Eddy Boudel Tan. And let me read you the introduction, or the back cover copy as we like to call it. When the airplane piloted by Elias Santos crashes 1 week before their wedding day, Coen Caraway loses the man he loves and the illusion of happiness he has worked so hard to create. The only thing Elias leaves behind is a recording of his final words, and even Coen is baffled by the cryptic message. Numb with grief, he takes refuge on the Mexican island that was meant to host their wedding. But as fragments of the past come to the surface in the aftermath of the tragedy, Coen is forced to question everything he thought he knew about Elias and their life together. Beneath his flawed memory lies the truth about Elias and himself. From the damp concrete of Vancouver to the spoiled shores of Mexico, After Elias weaves the past with the present to tell a story of doubt, regret, and the fear of losing everything. And you will find, let me give you Eddy's social handles. You will find him, his Facebook page is Eddy, that's with a Y, Boudel Tan, all in one word. Instagram and Twitter, Eddy Automatic, and his author website is Eddy Boudel Tan, all linked on the Facebook post already, so you can find them. So I'm going to show you the cover once again, and then I'm going to jump right in to the prologue and part of the first chapter of After Elias by Eddy Boudel Tan. I used to call the shadow my old friend. It seemed less frightening that way. I would say it with a wry smile, but nobody else would find it funny. It has been such a long time since the shadow last came around. I think I've been defriended, I once said to Elias. He just looked at me, unamused. I suppose I've been too busy with the wedding arrangements to think much about the shadow. It doesn't like to be forgotten, though. It always lingers nearby. As I arrived at the hotel yesterday, I should have predicted that the shadow would make an appearance. After all, it is an old friend. The terrace bar is different today. I feel it as soon as I step inside. Something foreign in the air greets me like a scent I can't quite place. It's darker here than in the rest of the hotel. It struck me as odd when I first saw it yesterday, this gloomy cavern hidden within a palace of light. My eyes adjust and all I see are flowers. They're an unnatural shade of yellow, worn by a woman softened with age, her skin like an overripe plum. She's seated alone at a table and stares straight ahead, motionless. The sadness on her face is even more unnerving against the yellow flowers of the dress hanging limply on her. A few other guests sit at tables scattered throughout the room. Like the woman in the floral dress, their stares are fixed on something in front of them. The bartender stands behind the long countertop to my left, framed by a wall of glass bottles. He greeted me with such warmth yesterday. Every smile he gave felt earned, inviting my confidence whenever he leaned forward or held eye contact longer than what I'd usually find comfortable. Now his arms are crossed over his chest, his eyes narrowed. A dish towel lies forgotten over one shoulder. He's staring in the same direction as everyone else in the dim room, his head tilted upward as though listening to God. Following their gaze, I see it's something ordinary, a television set mounted on the wall behind the bar's counter. I can't quite tell what they're watching, but it looks like the ocean. The waves are more grey than blue, churning across the screen with lashes of foam. Why is everyone so interested in this? Several jagged objects come into view. They rock along with the rhythm of the waves, the red paint bold against the coldness of the sea. Their shapes lack symmetry. Are they little boats? A woman appears on the screen. She's dressed inoffensively in neutral tones and crisp lines. Her delicate hands are placed on the surface of a lacquered desk. I hear her voice, but don't hear the words. My body begins to shiver like a taut wire as my phone vibrates in my pocket. I don't reach for it like I normally would. It goes off again and again. I just let it continue its inaudible cry, a silent alarm bell. But I don't need to read the messages or answer the calls. I know what has happened. Why everyone at home suddenly feels the need to get hold of me. I know what everyone in the room is seeing on the television, what those floating objects are. I know because I've always known this would happen one day. Today is that day. The shadow comes to me. I recognize it immediately, even though it has been so long. It cloaks itself around my body. I feel its touch, a sickening static. A familiar numbness washes over me. It seeps into my skin. The pricking begins softly before it gets sharper, quicker. 1,000 stabbing needles. It whispers in my ears. A deadening hum surrounds me. Hello, old friend. Invisible hands wrap around my throat. I can't breathe. I can't move. If I had been paying closer attention earlier, I might have seen it in the periphery of my vision, felt its touch against the tips of my fingers. It was so close. I don't know how long I stand there before my legs can move again. They march me out of the dim room and I stumble through the hall. The light sears my retinas. The sound of my shoes on the cold floor becomes louder with every step as the hum subsides. I find my suite, the door emblazoned with numbers polished so well I can see my reflection in them. My hand shakes as it fumbles in my pocket for the key. I throw myself into the room and slam the door shut behind me. I pull the curtains closed and switch on the television above the dresser. This must be a mistake. The unholy messenger in the neutral tones stares back at me, though she seems less benign. There's an emptiness in her eyes as her lips move. I can understand her words now. Flight XI-260 was on its way to Vancouver from Berlin when it crashed into the Arctic Ocean 1 hour ago. There were 314 passengers on board, including 15 crew members, 1 relief pilot, 1 captain, and 1 co-pilot. A face appears, and I know it so well. The square chin and uneven lips that make him look more arrogant than he is. The arrowhead slope of his nose, something he's always been self-conscious of. Most striking of all, the darkness of his irises, almost black. They reflect the light as tiny white orbs, 2 satellites in the night sky. He's the man I'm supposed to marry in 7 days, this co-pilot. His name is Elias. Part 1. The Pilot and the Botanist. Suite 319, 9 hours after the crash. I was 9 years old when I discovered that I wasn't afraid of death. The heat of the sun on my bare shoulders and the chill of the wet concrete under my feet was a troubling combination for me that day. The other children, all wild eyes and unpredictable limbs, howled like apes around a watering hole. They bared their teeth as they chased each other. They banded together to lay claim to their territories. I was careful to stay out of the path of the other boys, my eyes averted from theirs and my fists clenched by my side. It was a relief to pull my head beneath the surface of the water. The noise from above became a muffled hum. The sting of the sun softened. I felt a grip on my mind loosen as I submerged myself in stillness. My senses awoke as another body collided into mine. My feet stretched down toward the bottom, expecting to feel the reassurance of its tiles. There was only empty space. My hands reached up and grabbed fistfuls of water. I managed to reach the surface for a gasp of air before I was pulled underneath again by an invisible hand. Every kick of my legs and stroke of my arms reeled me farther down. I held my breath for as long as I could, then let it all out in a swarm of bubbles. My lips went still as I closed my eyes. I didn't feel fear. I felt a deep and wonderful calm. I wonder what happens now, I remember thinking. My breath returned in violent coughs and purged chlorine as I lay on the wet concrete of the pool's edge. There was a look of wonder in the eyes that stared down at me, as though I had risen from the dead. The first thought that came to me was I must have been Aztec. Come to think of it now, I'd always been a different kind of boy. You see, the Aztecs didn't fear death. They believed it was glorious. Death perpetuated creation. Without it, there would be no life. Their bones were the seeds from which new life grew. Their blood watered the dry earth. Both humans and gods sacrificed their lives so this wheel of conclusion and creation would spin on and on. After the final breath, Aztecs travelled to one of three places. Those with honourable endings, like warriors dying in battle, would transform into hummingbirds to follow the sun. Those who met their end by water would find themselves in a paradise of eternal spring. The majority would not be so lucky. Their journey would take them to the underworld of McKinnon, a hellish place guarded by jaguars in a river of blood. Reading about this as a boy, it seemed unfair to me how the most terrible human beings could so easily escape an eternity of bloody jaguars. Had things ended differently that summer day at the pool, I would have found myself in paradise by simply drifting too far into the deep end. However flawed it may be, it's a beguiling idea. Your life is irrelevant. Your death is what counts. And that was After Elias, the prologue and part of the first chapter by Eddy Boudel Tan. Just absolutely gorgeous writing, and it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those books for me that just absolutely grabbed me, and I am so thrilled to bring this one to you today. It's just fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I did. So emotional as well, that first part. You know from reading the back cover copy, obviously that Elias is going to be on that flight, but just the thought of watching that, it just scared me shivers. I thought that was absolutely brilliant, and judging by all of the comments as well, I see there's lots of comments, and Hank says the cover is so elegant and sinister. Yes, exactly. It is. It's so subtle, and yet it feels ominous as well. Which is I'm always in awe of people who design covers, because I can't even manage a stick man. And it's just wonderful to see all of these covers and to know what's inside, and to be able to bring this book to you. It's just I've still got goosebumps, Eddie. What have you done? So I'm seeing lots and lots of comments. Glennie says beautiful writing, which it really is. Kathy says so powerful. I need to read this. Yes, you do. And Catherine says thanks for the intro to a new to me writer. Great start to the book. Yes, it really is. So Jessica Hamilton, who says beautiful descriptive writing. Yes, it absolutely is. It's just tremendous. I'm going to show you the cover again. After Elias by Eddy Boudel Tan, available now for your reading pleasure. And so let me tell you about Thursday's book. And this is strange, and you might think that we planned this but we didn't. Sometimes it's so odd. Sometimes we get Hank and I, we get theme weeks. We've had baking before, whether it's the fun facts that we share every Friday about the author. But this week it's planes. Weird, but true. We have The Last Flight. This is one humdinger of a book as well by Julie Clark. And this is the one that we will be reading for you on Thursday. So I hope you'll tune in then as well. So let me show you After Elias again by Eddy Boudel Tan. Make sure you go and discover this book forthwith, and join us again on Thursday for Julie Clark's The Last Flight. So there we go. That was it. That was it. That is it for first chapter fun today. Thank you. Oh, Hank, really? Okay. Hank just said, Hannah, show your new book. Okay. All right then. Well, thank you for asking. This is my new one. You will remember me. This is an ARC. You see there? It says proof copy. Probably see that there. Yeah. So these came in to me yesterday, which was lovely. Brightened my day. And this is my next one. And it will be read on First Chapter Fun, not by me, because no, that would be weird. But Hank will definitely be reading it for us sometime in May. But never mind that one. Go check out After Elias by Eddy Boudel Tan and get reading. There we go. So thank you so much again for joining. It's such a thrill always to bring books to you. And thank you, Eddy, for watching. And thank you very much for letting us read your book on First Chapter Fun. And thank you also to Dundurn Press, Eddy's publisher, for giving us permission to do this. So we will see you on Thursday, I hope. And until then, as always, please stay safe and stay kind. And we will see you on Thursday. Thank you for watching.